we are doing the top Big 12 games of the year, conference games only. Now, I know that, Baylor plays Auburn and, Arizona State plays Mississippi State, but those are non-conference games. We're only talking about Big 12 conference games, Kenny. And we're going to be doing the top 10 games, not in like 1 through 10 per se, like best game versus worst game. We're just doing it in the top 10, like order from the start of the season to the end of the season. And of course, the first game on our docket, Kenny, is of course Farmageddon. It's about 2 weeks out, Kenny. I'm really excited to see a top 25 matchup, K-State versus Iowa State.
Yeah, man, this is going to determine actually determine a lot for the rest of the season. K-State being favorites to win, at least get to the Big 12 championship title game. If they come out and lose this game against Iowa State, it's going to be difficult for them to, make that claim that they deserve to be there. Iowa State coming off of a really, a big year for them. They're going to want to come in and get the year started yet again. I've got a lot of faith in Iowa State fans that they're going to show up and, put up a good fight against K-State. They're going to have to. I mean, they also are in the conversation or want to be in the conversation of, why not them? They made it to the Big 12 title game last year. They lost to Arizona State, and that's probably something that it might give them a little bit of hunger. You got Rocco Beck coming back, and he doesn't have his star-studded receivers, but maybe he's got something to prove, a little chip on his shoulder now that maybe hey, like, it wasn't just them. I'm actually a good quarterback, and I can give it to anybody. So we'll have to see. I'm excited. Farmageddon never disappoints. It's always a really, really good game. K-State, unfortunately for us being K-State fans, has been on the losing side of that rivalry the last couple years. And I think K-State's really wanting to, come back and give this a really good showing here, especially since it's going to be in Dublin, Ireland, of all places. So we're going to be watching most K-State fans and Iowa State fans will be watching from their TV screens in their home. But nonetheless, I mean, this is going to be an exciting game. It always is. For those who don't know about this rivalry, it's the longest consecutive ongoing rivalry in college right now. So in college football, that is. So, lot to be excited about. Both teams want to get a good start, to the season here. And, they cannot fumble this game on both sides of the ball. I mean, obviously you and I, we're going to be, pulling for K-State here, and we believe that they're the better team right now on paper. We'll get into that later when we get closer to the game, but this game is super important. Very, very important. Had to be on this list to start the season off right. A lot of eyeballs are going to be on this, Steve. It's kind of cool.
You about said every single thing you could possibly say about this game. I agree with all of it, man. I agree with all of it. Iowa State's been, they've won a couple of games in a row against K-State after losing, like, I don't know, it was like 10 years in a row that they had lost to K-State, something like that. But K-State really wants this game, and they're picked to win the conference. And if you're going to win the conference, you have to win this game, because not only are you getting a 1-0 start to the conference, you're also getting the head-to-head win, which really equates to really 2 games in a conference standings, because if you're tied at the same conference standing, whoever won the head-to-head is going to win the tiebreaker to get to go to Arlington. So yeah, this is a huge game. I think this is a game that Avery Johnson, Dylan Edwards really need to assert themselves and show what they can do for K-State, show that they've taken that next step. And hopefully, I mean, Iowa State went to the conference title last year. I think K-State's thinking it's our turn to get back to Arlington. And they're doing it in Dublin, Ireland, like you said. Okay, moving on. Next game on our schedule, Arizona State at Baylor, September 23rd. Feels like Arizona State and Baylor and K-State are going to be on this list a lot. Arizona State's got a really, really, really tough schedule. But Baylor does too, but it feels like all of Baylor's tough games are at home. Kenny, I'm excited to watch this game, man. I'm excited to watch someone other than K State play a tough game, and this is gonna be a lot of fun. Sam Levitt versus Sawyer Robertson. I'm excited, man. Dave Aranda versus Kenny Dillingham, dude.
Yeah, this dude, this you're looking at potentially a Big 12 title matchup between these two teams. I mean, both have, star-studded rosters. Both teams have great coaching, and it looks like both of these teams could end up being in the Big 12 title game. We kind of said this sort of thing last year when we were watching Utah and Oklahoma State. We both teams were projected to be really, really good teams, and it didn't pan out that way. But I think we can be confident in saying, Baylor bringing back a lot of people. They've got that really strong running back. Their
Bryson
quarterback
Washington.
is solid. Yep. Uh, their quarterback Roberson, solid. So it's this is a really interesting game to start like early in the season. Like this is kind of one of those things, and the fact that it's at Baylor, I think you're going to realize that there's a lot of games at Baylor that are going to be very difficult, very important games, and for them to have it at home, that's a big deal for them. And I think they definitely need to take advantage of this home field advantage schedule they have this year because, for them, they're going to be going for the title this year, and having these very important games at home that should be really good for their favor. You definitely want to capitalize on that. But Arizona State University, man, they're going to be up for this game. It's early on in the season against a very, very good team. It'll be very interesting to see how they respond in this game for sure.
My biggest question mark for this game is how good is Baylor's defense? Like, how much have they improved from last year? Because I felt like their defense really held them back in a lot of games. I mean, you think about it. Go back to the Colorado game. That game should not have gone in overtime. They should not have lost that game. You go to the bowl game. They give up a ton of points to, I think it was it LSU, something like that. One of the SEC teams last year. Man, it feels like their defense really held them back this year. And, maybe Jordan Tyson, Chaman Matire from Arizona State, and of course, Sam Levitt, the preseason Big 12 player of the year, can do some damage. But this should be a fun game for all Big 12 fans, college football fans to watch.
Yeah.
Moving on. Another Baylor game. K-State at Baylor. Like we talked about, Baylor's got a lot of home games, but they're all kind of difficult. K-State at Baylor, October 4th, possibly, as you were saying, an early look at the Big 12 championship game, because from what I remember, you have K-State 1 and Baylor 2 in your preseason power rankings, right?
Yeah, I think these two teams, this is going to be arguably right in the middle of the season, one of the best games of the entire season. Both teams are looking at, title contention. Both teams are, retained a lot of players from the previous season. Both teams have great strengths on both sides of the ball. I mean, this is going to be a battle for sure, and this could be potentially a preview. A lot of these games, you could say, is a preview to the Big 12 title game. I think we can all say that. I mean, there's one that may not be one on this list, maybe a couple, but nevertheless, K-State having to go down to Baylor is not easy. But even so, they're going to be a tough team this year, but so is K-State. They both have a lot of talent, so it could go either way. But as for its importance, this will say a lot. Baylor having to basically play two insanely difficult games at home, pretty close to each other. I mean, they're just about 2 weeks away from each other, these two games. So not saying anything against Baylor, like they can't handle it, but they're going to have to handle it. They're going to have to be able to handle the hits and the licks they're going to take from Arizona State and then bounce right back up and play against K-State very soon after that, which K-State, you know, they're gonna have some time to heal from the Arizona State game. So uh, this will be good, man. I'm actually excited about this game. I'm gonna be glued to the screen because I don't know if I'm gonna go down to Baylor, but I'm gonna be
No,
glued
no.
to the screen. It'd be cool to go down there.
It would be really cool because, I mean, you said it was your number one Big 12 stadium. So that'd be pretty
Yeah, in
cool.
terms of aesthetics, yeah, I would love to be at that stadium. That looks so cool.
The last time K State won the Big 12 championship game, they actually won at Baylor by like 3 touchdowns. So there's some good juju there. What I'm looking at in this game is, can K State's offense match Baylor's offense? Because Baylor's offense is going to come out very, very, very explosive. And it feels like every time K State's, you know, gone down to Baylor outside of just the last time in 2022, Baylor's offense has been on fire. So can K State's defense, stop them, and can K State's offense
Yeah,
score enough to keep them in the game? So we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. Big game.
Absolutely. Another big game. Texas Tech
This game is gonna
at
okay.
Arizona State.
Texas Tech. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the story with. I mean, it's not really a story, but the situation with Texas Tech. Okay, they have basically paid for their team. And, you could say that, Utah and Texas Tech in September 19th, that is a pretty big game. That's going to sort of battle test Texas Tech, but that's early. That's like that is their very first game of the season, a conference play. So you look through their schedule. They play Utah, and then they have a week off, and then they come back, and then they play Houston. That's not going to be a big game for them, and then they play KU at home, so that's not going to be a big challenge for them, I don't think. And then you get, I believe, the next one. Yeah, or no, then they play Oklahoma State, or no, sorry, you're right. Arizona State comes after. So after KU at home, then they go to Arizona State. So I was looking at their schedule. This is gonna prove a lot because, again, first game, if they lose to Utah, that's not a big deal to me because Utah's projected to be a very good team as well. And this Texas Tech team probably needs a game or two to get gelled, with all these players that they brought in, being able to buy into the system, with all the coaching. So I can give them some grace on the first game. But this game is going to say a lot because if they lose this game, you could blame it like, oh, it's an away game. But this is going to be like their true battle test. If they lose to Utah and Arizona State, their season's done. You can't lose to both teams that are basically in the running for a Big 12 title. So this, for Texas Tech, I think this game is one of, if not the most important games in the season for them,
On their
because this
schedule.
is on their schedule. Yeah, because it is basically like you've battle tested the games before. We'll give you the loss to Utah if it doesn't go your way. But let's say it does go their way. If they're winning all the way up to this point and then they lose to Arizona State, that could be the difference, because they also got to play K-State, if I'm not mistaken. But,
Mm-hmm.
this is a very huge game on a lot of levels. Arizona State just got done playing Baylor a couple weeks ago. Now they're coming back home. They've got a great home field advantage. Again, I'm hoping that every home game that Arizona State has is going to be explosive. I mean, I'm sure the fans are going to be going off. Kenny Dillingham and company have really lit this, university and this city on fire. Funny, they're the Sun Devils. They lit this university on fire. This town is on fire for this team. It's going to be good, man. Big game. And I'm pretty sure they played last year, and Texas Tech beat Arizona
They did
State.
44-41, I think.
Yeah, very crazy game. So we'll have to see if Arizona State, steps up to the plate, gives them a little bit of revenge, try to get back that win. So I'm really psyched. I'm really psyched about this game. Stoked for these two teams at this point in the season. This is a big week for them, both teams.
This is typically a game that Texas Tech loses. I mean, I think they've have not gotten above 8-4 like at all over the last like 10 years or so. This is usually a game that they lose. Now, they have revamped their roster in a big way. But like you said, man, this could possibly be the biggest game of the entire season. You're playing the defending Big 12 champions at their place as you just beat them a year before at home. This is a big game. Oh, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this. And it's not the only big
Good.
game on October 18th, Kenny.
You're right, because what is bigger and has more story behind it than the Holy War, man? The Holy War game is also October 18th. Dude, these games better not be playing at the same time. I swear, if Brett Yormark better say something here. I mean, they're both going to be played at the same time zone because they're both going to be on the
West Coast.
Arizona time. So I'm really hoping that they don't have them at the same time of day. I really want these games to be separated in time because I want to watch them. I want to watch the full game. I want to have the full experience of watching both. And I don't know if K-State has this week off or not. I hope they do. Actually, let me double check and see. Like October 18th, 17th. It says
October
the
18th,
17th.
K-State has the week off. Perfect.
It's supposed to be the 17th, not the 18th. At least that's what it's showing here. Typo,
No,
whatever.
no,
So anyway,
it's the 18th. That's right.
it's the 18th. All right. On the M-Reds, it's 17th. But anyway, regardless, the these games, look, we all know what happened last year, the big controversy, the the athletic director coming out, shooting shots at the Big 12, Brett Yormark, and then having to apologize later. I mean, this is like pure cinema. This game never ever fails to live up to the hype, and I just can't wait, dude. You never know what's gonna happen, but having it in Provo, that's gonna be wild.
This feels like a low scoring game. I mean, both teams have great defenses. I got a lot of question marks on both teams' quarterbacks. I really do. So this could be another. I mean, it was pretty low scoring until the end of the game last year. You watched the whole thing. You said it was wild. Watch the
It
highlights.
was
It's very
insane.
wild. I think this could be like a 17-14 or 14-13 or 13-10
Yeah.
type game, man. It's gonna be really low scoring, and we'll see what happens. But Lavelle Edwards Stadium, man, that place is gonna go nuts.
It is going to go nuts, especially like, this is again middle of the season. A lot of at this point, depending on how good BYU is now, and how good Utah is. I mean, BYU could play spoiler for Utah's season, and then getting the 2 wins over the last couple of years, in the rivalry would be pretty wild. But I think Utah is going to want to come in and deliver a little bit, give BYU a taste of their own medicine of what they did last year.
We'll see, man. I'm excited
We'll,
for this
we'll,
game.
we'll see how it goes. But, this game, just purely based on the importance of the rivalry, had to be on the list. It just had to be.
There's another rivalry game on the same day, Kenny. And the third game on the same day.
We have October 18th. It has got to be the biggest day, right? The biggest week. I'm glad K-State's not playing this week.
I know, man.
Because we would be missing all these really awesome games. Because we would obviously be watching K-State, but Baylor versus TCU, man. Oh, dude, you've got Baylor, who's projected to be the title contender. TCU with probably the hottest offense in the conference. Oh man, both of these schools have a lot of history going against each other. I mean, I can't remember exactly the story, but there's some like, coaching, bad blood or something in the water. Both schools are, religious schools. And they're also both Texas schools. And, the rivalry basically is writing itself, with that kind of, setting right there. And to me, I don't really know if this is going to be a good game in terms of watching it, but it will be important. Again, any game that's in the middle of the season, Baylor having to go to TCU. This could be a sneaky game, where
It could be,
TCU
man.
might just have like a crazy pop off game, and then Baylor's on their heels, and this is kind of one of those games where you cannot sleep on TCU. You can't just walk in and think you're going to win. So this will be really interesting. I'm excited for this game. I think I think Baylor is going to be the favorite during, like, when we get to this part of the season.
Probably
I think
minus three. We'll see.
they'll probably be the favorites here. But I have a pretty good idea that TCU is going to have a pretty decent season up to
Hmm.
this point. I mean, their
I
schedule
agree.
is not super crazy, so I think they'll be ready for Baylor when they come into town. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they will have just come off playing at KSTATE the week before. TCU will. They will have already
Yeah,
played at Arizona State and against SMU and against North Carolina, so they'll be battle tested. We'll see. I mean, if they're undefeated, only have one or two losses, I feel like this could be a toss up game, man. But I do think going into the season, as we're looking at this on August 10th or whatever, I would say Baylor is the better team. I would probably have them favored by 3 or 4 points, which really means they're a
right,
touchdown favorite because the home team gets three. So
right.
this should be a fun game. This feels like an 11 a.m. kickoff game, maybe a 2:30 game. Give me a
Yeah.
night game of Texas Tech at Arizona State. Give me a late game, Holy War, man. That's gonna be a fun Saturday, dude.
This is the third Baylor game. I just realized, third Baylor game, and I think there's even one more after this.
There
So
is.
Baylor's got a very difficult schedule ahead of them. They've got a lot of very important games that they need to play, and their schedule was not favorable to them this year. But we'll see, how they handle the challenge. So
This is like the only tough away conference game though. Like all the other ones are at home. So
yeah, I mean, honestly though, if you think, I mean, there's a lot of teams that are, you know, favorited to be title contenders that are, playing a lot of really big games. There's not like a title contender that's got an easy schedule. You know what I mean?
true, true, true.
So I will say that.
Moving on.
Speaking of title contenders, we've got Texas Tech versus K State playing at the Bill, man.
In
Texas
in
Tech at the
November,
Bill.
in November, Texas boys coming north in November when it's going to be cold, man. K State's had Texas Tech's number. I think Texas Tech has only beaten K State once in the last 12, 13 years, and it's when they had Patrick Mahomes. So K State's won, like I said, 10 or 12 in a row.
Yeah, K State coming off of a bye week. They would have played, against TCU, then had a bye, and then they're coming back. Or no, sorry. They would play away the next couple of games, I think. Oh no,
They
no.
they would
They'll
have
play
had at
one away game.
KU and
Yeah,
then the next week at
yeah.
home against Texas Tech.
Basically a home game. Let's not kid
They're not
ourselves.
leaving the state, baby. It's
They're not leaving the state.
hour 20 down the road.
They're gonna be at home, then at home, then at home, then at home. K State, dude, the fans are gonna go crazy, man. The fans are gonna lose their freaking minds for this game. I mean,
Defense is going to win this game, baby. Defense is going to
you
win
think
this game.
so?
I think so. I mean, Texas Tech spent a lot of money on their defense. K-State's a very tough nosed team. I want to say, like the last couple of times Texas Tech has come to K-State, they've not scored more than 21 points in any of those games, not in a single
Well,
one. So
under the Chris Kleiman era, he has averaged no team like across the board has not his average for like points allowed is 23 points for all the seasons combined. So basically, like no one scored more than 3 touchdowns on K State at home or just in general. So, Chris Kleiman, for those who don't know, he is actually a defensive coach. He's defensive minded. So obviously, he's definitely, going to be favoring that side of the ball a little bit more. But hey, let's not forget what happened. K-State didn't play Texas Tech last year, but when did they play them, Stevie? They played them 2 years ago in Lubbock. And what happened in that game? See, what was the unique thing that happened in Lubbock? That was when Avery played his like basically his first
Five
game,
touchdown game,
and he
baby.
got
Five touchdowns.
5 touchdown game. That is amazing. As a true freshman, mind you, a true freshman. That basically is, I would say, why Avery was able to get the job over Will as easy as he did. Is uh-oh,
Your audio went down there for a minute there, bro.
my audio.
We got some audio issues. I'll keep going here. Yeah, I'm excited for this game. It should be a fun one. Texas Tech. This feels like a game. If Texas Tech
Oh,
loses this game,
there I am.
there you are. If Texas Tech loses this game, I do feel like they are out of, of course, there's other games to be played. We talked about them in Arizona State. If they lose at Arizona State and lose at K-State, I don't see any way they get to Arlington. I just don't.
Yeah.
You cannot lose to two other title contenders. You just can't.
I also think that I think Avery is going to want to. I think he's going to come into this game really confident because he already put it to them, 2 years ago. So I think he's going to come in with a lot of confidence. He's at home now, So and this is again, just past the halfway mark of the season. And I think Avery's going to absolutely, go off in this game. You did say it's going to be a defensive win, but I don't know. I feel like I've got a lot of faith in Avery in this, and revamped, portal buyout, whatever you want to say or not. K-State's winning this for sure at home. This will be, I think, the last home game for a minute for them. But yeah, I'm excited for this game. I'm definitely excited for this game. I want this game. I think November 1st, if I'm not mistaken, that'll be the Army game. I'm pretty sure this will be the Army game, where they do the Army stuff and
maybe,
they'll bring because it's so close
you mean Fort Riley Day is what you mean to say.
Yes, the Fort Riley Day. Because November 14th, they're going to be away. And I just don't think they're, and also November 21st, they're going to be away. And
they do like to do it around
Veterans Day.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on. Arizona State at Iowa State, man. Now, you told me before we went live, you do not think Iowa State is going to be that good this year. You think that they're due for a down year. They won 11 games last year. They made it to Arlington. They lost. But this is a rematch of that game in Arlington last year. Arizona State, Iowa State. But last year, Arizona State whooped them.
Yeah.
Does it happen again? Does it happen again?
I think so. I think, putting this as like an important game to me, I think when you were telling me about this, you're saying, well, hey, I've got these teams as top 5, preseason rankings, but I don't think Iowa State at this point in the season is going to be really making a lot of noise. I mean, I have them losing to K-State. They're going to be winning a bunch of these low level teams. Like they're going to be playing Arizona, then Cincinnati, they're going to be playing Colorado, a lot of Houston, they're just not playing like top level teams. And I think the second that they play like a big team like Arizona State, they're going to get absolutely handled. I mean,
their schedule is pretty easy when you can look at them compared to the other title contenders. So.
Right. They're playing BYU at home. I'm not saying that'll be easy, but I'm just saying that they're at home. Right. And I don't know if they win, 2 games against like formidable opponents, BYU, and then you got Arizona State. I just don't see it. I don't see it, and maybe I'm being ignorant about this, but I just feel like in terms of importance, I see where you're getting at though. They might have really good records going against each other here. In terms of like conference records, and this is basically a rematch of the previous year's, title game. For me, I just don't think that this is going to be as important as it may seem. I think like for the story, it makes sense to have it on here.
Of course.
But I don't see it being that important in the long run. But I definitely like this game. I think this will be a fun game. But I see Arizona State absolutely handling Iowa State. Sorry,
We'll
Cyclone
see,
fans.
man. We'll see. Iowa State usually starts pretty slow, so if this game was September, Arizona State definitely wins by double digits.
Yeah,
But late in
yeah,
the season, a warm weather team coming north where it's cold, maybe Iowa State's
yeah,
receivers start to figure it out.
yeah.
I don't know. Anything could happen. Injuries
It's
happen.
possible.
It is
It's
very
possible.
possible. And, like you said, you got to have the rematch of the title game from a year ago on the top
Yeah.
10. So
You have to. You have to put it on there. Regardless of like, look, Cam Scatterbu left, and you
mhm.
got what is it, Higgins or whatever,
All the receivers for Iowa
the
State left.
receivers that they had,
Yep.
from Iowa State. Both teams took some pretty big hits, but I think overall Arizona State will be able to bounce back. Whereas like Iowa State, yeah, I think their hits are a little bit too big. Hits to their defense. We'll have to see though. Again, it's really early, and we're talking about a game in early November. But in terms of importance, this might be like the least important out of all of them on the list for my money. It'd be like this one and maybe like the TCU game are at the bottom, but then the rest of them are like very, very important. So
Yeah, I would say this one and the TCU what is
Tech,
it? The TCU Baylor game is
Baylor, that's right.
the
Yeah,
TCU Baylor would be the two least important games on the list. So
they're still important, but I think
still
for
very
different
important, but
reasons.
not as important as the other games, including the next week, or actually two
Yep.
weeks later. 2 weeks later, Kenny,
2 weeks
Utah
later,
at Baylor. Man, pair of
this is the
teams picked in the top
another
five,
Baylor game. What is this? The fourth time they've been on this list.
and
It
it's the
just
only
goes to
another
show,
home game.
and it's again at home. This just kind of goes to show when you've got a team like Baylor who is projected to be, a title contender in a conference where there's like 4 or 5 different, teams that could potentially get to the title game. Every game matters, it seems like, and Baylor and Utah are no exceptions. I mean, Utah's been on this list a couple times, you know, uh, so far, and you got Baylor. This is their fourth showing on here. I mean, I feel like it's low key, kind of like a compliment to Baylor. You're like the team to beat. Same thing with K State. They're the team to beat. Utah, the team to beat. Arizona State, the team to beat. Like, there's just so much importance on every single game that these teams play, and when they play each other, you have to put it like an important part of the game. And so this at this point in the season could look like a preview to the title game.
Could be, could be. I mean,
We keep saying this.
Utah's picked near the top of the Big 12.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that they're going to have a bounce back year. Can Baylor's defense figure it out? Because Sorry Robertson, Bryson Washington are going to do big things this year. I don't know, man. Kyle Whittingham's a great coach. Dave Aranda's okay. Great game, man. A pair of coaches that really know how to win conference titles, man. And
Yep.
they're tough coaches, and this should be a fun game, man. This should be a fun
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
Um,
I'm excited for this one. I mean, like I'm sure K State plays. Yeah, they play Oklahoma State.
at Oklahoma State that day.
Yeah, they play at Oklahoma State. Um, I'm hoping that this isn't during the same time, because this would be a
I don't see
very,
that.
very fun.
Yeah, I don't think it will, because there's a lot of teams that did not make this list. I mean,
Yeah.
Arizona, UCF,
Hmm.
um, the Cincinnati's of the world. Like, none of them are on this list, and they're going to be on those ones that are on ESPN Plus or during the same time as
Right. Right.
K-State.
Right. Right.
So this
Yeah,
could be an
I'm hoping
afternoon
that,
game, and K-State's probably going to be a night game.
yeah,
So
that's possible for sure. Yeah, I think for Baylor, you gotta love the fact that you guys are playing this game at home. I mean, this is like, as far as your schedule, you have a very tough schedule, but
but
the
it's pretty
fact that
favorable because they're
but
almost
it's
all of them are at
favorable.
home.
Right, right, right. Look, if Baylor comes in and they win all these games, they deserve, without a shadow of a doubt. I think anybody would even, no one would say like, oh, they don't deserve to be in the title game. No,
Right.
they have not only been battle tested, but they went through the ringer. I mean,
Yep.
Arizona State, K State, TCU, Utah. I mean, That's
Auburn, SMU. I mean,
yeah.
they will be battle tested by this point.
I could see, dude, if they went in to the title game with like one loss, they better be top 10
Oh,
in
they better
like
be top five. They better be top five. I mean, but
yeah,
top 10 for sure.
top 10
Because
for
feels like
sure.
the Big 12 is getting
ESPN will
shafted right
never
now.
ESPN will never put a team top 5 unless they're undefeated and they have undefeated record with this kind of schedule.
Yeah.
Utah, Arizona State, K-State, if they had that kind of schedule and they were undefeated, they're definitely top 5. They
Yeah. I
might be
mean,
even top 3.
you'd have
So,
Auburn, SMU,
yeah.
Arizona State, Oklahoma State, K State, TCU, Utah. I mean, if they're undefeated, they better be top five for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. One
All
last
right.
game to talk about for the top 10 Big 12 conference games of the year, Kenny.
That's
We
right.
had to end it. We started it the right way. We're going to end it the right way as well. K State at Utah, a possible, look ahead
Another
to
possible title preview match.
a title preview, possibly K State versus Utah, a pair of teams that are picked, to win the conference, depending on the outlet you're looking at.
Yeah.
I think Utah is going to be very, very, very good this year.
Yeah.
Compared to where they were last year. Now, are they good enough to get to 10 wins? I don't know. I think K-State is. I do think K-State is. But Utah is the home team. I mean, you're going out to, Utah late November, probably going to be an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock kickoff here in Kansas. You know what happened last time that happened when K-State went out to Utah for a late kick? It did not go well. But
No.
this should be a fun game as long as K-State wins. It's not going to be fun if we lose.
Yeah. I think I was even giving it a scenario. Like, let's just say, for the sake of saying, this is basically like these two teams going into this game are the ones that are going to be going to the title game, like win or lose on each side. If that is the case, K-State better just accept the L. Like just
Right.
go in and rest your starters here, okay? Get your backups in, that sort of thing. There's no reason to try to win a game in Utah when you've got a title game to play in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I think this game could, very well be a situation where if this is the preview. Now I think there's one game after this that they would have to play. K-State would have to play, right?
At home
They play
against Colorado,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
I
So
think K-State would win that by a lot.
technically, the way that the Big 12 goes, nothing is set in stone until the very last week of football. So I don't believe that this is something that we would be able to just walk in and
You cannot,
not care about.
No.
So I kind of take back what I just said. But in any case, look, K-State going to Utah, this is gonna be tough. This will be K-State's biggest challenge late in the year. Injuries, I'm sure, have already happened. We're probably in our backups in a lot of positions and key positions. But at the same time, you also got positions that, might needed some reps to learn. And so that guys like Lincoln Cure for K-State, but also like Utah and their, new quarterback coming in, learning the program. By
He
this
might be
point, he should
experienced
be
at this point. He'll
might
be
be
battle
experienced.
tested, game ready by November
Right.
22nd.
We might be getting some big games or big moments in this game.
I think it'll be another low scoring game. I think
you think so?
Utah's defense is legit. K-State's very tough nosed team. I think this could be 24-20 type game. I mean, it'll be lower scoring. It won't be in the 30s.
Look, if Utah is going to have the season that a lot of people are projecting them to have, which they had this, they're coming in with a lot of hype last year, and it was a dud. But they're saying no, this was an off year. Just look at the historical portfolio that Kyle Whittingham has had. This is uncharacteristic of his teams. Blah blah blah, whatever. Right? So they had all these injuries and the quarterback situation. All right. Well, we'll give you that. And they did have really good defensive performances, like you said, but K-State has also been a very consistent team, and they're just one of those teams that isn't going to lay down. So I think this game being the last game on the list, I think it's fitting as well. This is going to be great. Now we did not put a game on here that I thought would be important, not just for the Big 12. Big 12 the section, you guys are done. But for the K-State fans, the K-State versus KU game, playing in Lawrence with their
Can they get
brand new
17
stadium.
straight? Can they get 17
Can
straight?
K-State win 17 straight years in this rivalry, and then more, even the just to add a little bit more sweetness to the win, being on their brand new stadium? Oh, that would just
In
feel so
KU
good
at KU. Oh man, getting
at
a win,
KU.
17 straight, including getting a win in KU's
And then
new
we could
stadium.
literally say we are undefeated at KU with their new stadium or whatever. Like,
It's really not
they have
even a full new stadium. It's like it's barely over half of a new stadium, but
pretty
that's
much,
neither here
yeah.
nor there. But yeah, that's the best Big 12 games preseason
Yep.
here in 2025.
Keep an eye out on those games.
I'm bleeding purple. Every man a wildcat. Emo. I'm bleeding purple. Every man a wildcat.